Hello, everyone, and welcome to Body Bags. This week is Independent Theme Week, which was my idea. So, if anybody out there is really upset about this whole thing, I'm sorry. Just it was my idea. Anyway, yeah. So I thought, because July was my month, I thought for the month of Independence Day, I thought I'd go, independent films. And this one here, I decided to talk about. I thought that this was pretty interesting. It's more of a horror comedy, but we got the film Schlock, the first film by writer director John Landis, and I think this movie is pretty instrumental. I mean, first of all, okay, you want to talk about you want to talk about independent cinema. John Landis explained in interviews and documentaries and stuff before that when he was young, he saw movies and he wanted to be a movie director, and he decided he was going to quit school and work his way up and become a movie director. And he had worked overseas and for many years, working as a stunt man, working as props guy, working doing all sorts of different jobs, being a gopher on movie sets and everything. And then he pretty much saved away every penny that he made. And finally, when that ended for him, he came back to America and decided he wanted to become a movie director. And so he tried and tried. I believe is in the is in the late '60s. That's when he wrote the screenplay for American Werewolf in London, and then he tried to take it around. But they said either it's too funny to be scary, it's too scary to be funny, and it bothered him that you couldn't do both. But he was bound and determined he was going to make a hit film, and American Werewolf in London was going to be his next project. But anyway, so it turned out he tried and tried and he couldn't get a directing job. And to, quote John Landis, he said, fine, I'll make my own goddamn movie. So he turned around, he took all the money he had out of his savings, and then he ended up having to borrow a little bit too from relatives and that, he started making his film, and then he needed a subject. Well, he went to go see the movie Trog, the Herman Cohen movie with Joan Crawford, and it turned out, he hated the movie. He was very, he felt that the movie was very condescending to the audience and kind of really dumbing down on the audience. And he hated that idea. So he decided he was not going to, he was going to do his version of it, but, he was going to be schlock and he was going to basically make a funny version of it. And so that's what he did. And then comes the most important part, though. Is he's rounding up the money, he's taking the money out of his savings, he's getting money from relatives to make the movie and stuff, he's getting ready to shoot it. It's going to be like a 10 to 12 day shoot in the hottest California summer. And but here's the problem, he needs an ape suit. So he goes around and he tries and tries, and he's going around to all these studios asking if they can get him an ape suit, and they tell him, there's this young guy who makes masks and costumes and busts and things like that. Maybe you ought to talk to him, see if he can get you a good deal. So they give him his card, and it turns out that the man's name is Rick Baker. So John Landis goes to visit Rick Baker, and then a beautiful friendship emerges. And because of this, that's one of the reasons too why I wanted to talk about this movie, is because after this movie, John Landis and Rick Baker become the best of friends. They've been the best of friends for the decades to follow. And the two of them, got together, and John Landis pushed Rick Baker to create, easily the best werewolf transformation in movie history. I think because, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this. And I just think that, this movie is something special. This movie kind of, really helped kickstart two great careers. Rick Baker, I mean, yeah, he was doing little things here and there before this, but still, I mean, this is kind of what really started to get the ball rolling for him. And yeah, just and then the friendship that he and John Landis have had over the years, and all the stuff that that they've done together, and so yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to talk about. Anyway, it's already past 4 minutes. I think I should talk about the movie. Well, the movie is basically like John Landis says, it's schlock. It's basically, you have what's called the Schlockthropolis, and which this here is the ape creature played by John Landis himself, mainly because the reason why it was so low budget, he just couldn't afford to get another actor to play the part. And basically, it's kind of a series of kind of funny scenes and scenes where he's going around and Like there's a scene where he kind of like everywhere he goes, he's creating havoc. Like at one point, he goes into a movie theater and he's sitting there with a kid, and it's funny that nobody notices this ape man sitting in the theater. And as a matter of fact, he's sitting right next to Forrest Ackerman. He's like throwing popcorn everywhere, and he's like, starting fights and all this other kind of stuff, and just kind of wreaking havoc in this movie theater. And then like another part, he's doing this kind of funny homage to 2001, where he's got the bone and he's hitting it, throws it through a store window so he can go in there and get the bananas and stuff like that. But the Schlock is going around killing people and stuff. And at the beginning of the movie, as a matter of fact, the movie opens on this massacre is on a playground. All these people dead and stuff like that. But there's a lot of jokes here. It's funny. It's intentionally meant to be funny because the whole point was Landis wanted to pretty much make fun of those kind of movies. Like the kind of like the something like Night of the Bloody Apes or something like that. He wanted to poke fun at those kinds. So this movie is a parody of that. But also too, there are some good moments too because pretty much similar to like King Kong. He finds a beautiful woman. Well, the woman in the beginning, she's blind, and so it's like he's going up to her, and she's paying. She sees he's hairy and furry, so she thinks he's a dog. And there's a lot of breaking the fourth wall here. It's like because she's in there like she's, oh, you're good, you're a good doggy, and he just looks at the camera kind of like there's a lot of breaking the fourth wall jokes in here and stuff. And so pretty much you got that, like here, he breaks into pretty much like a dance, and he goes and carries the girl off, and then you got this, like I said, it's kind of like a King Kong kind of a thing. And what really comes through though, I think, in this movie is the fact that, I mean, yeah, it is funny, it's a comedy, it's more of a comedy, but what really does come through in this is that you can see that both Landis and Rick Baker do have a passion for monster movies, and they really do love the genre, and they respect it, and they love monster movies. You could see that, you could kind of see, like, as you watch this movie, like I said, you could see homages to like 2001. You could see homages to King Kong and great monster movies and things like that, and you could tell that both Landis and Rick Baker have an appreciation for it. And for what little tiny bit of money Rick Baker had, he actually did make a pretty good ape suit. I mean, considering I think he barely had maybe like $1,000, if that. But anyway, though, so I love Stranger Than King Kong. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad that Arrow finally put this out. I've been trying to hunt this down for years, and I'm a John Landis fan. I like his comedies. His horror stuff is great too. American Werewolf in London is by far my all-time favorite werewolf movie ever. Yeah, I was just, I really wanted to see this, and I'm glad that I did. And I'm glad that Arrow finally put this out. And but don't go into this expecting a bloodbath. There's not a lot of gore. There's a little bit of blood here and there, but if you're going into this hoping you're going to see tons of blood and gore, no, you're going to be let down. Like I said, it's more of a comedy. But you do have like the Schlock ape is going around killing people and stuff like that. So, but like I said, it's more of a loving tribute to the classic monster movies and things like that. And that's how they ended up getting Forrest Ackerman to actually appear in the movie, was because Ackerman saw the genuine love and affection that Landis has for monster movies, and that's what got him to be a part of it. So. But anyway, though, that's pretty much about it. Yeah, like I said, it's not blood and gore, but if you want, if you don't mind a good comedy, there are genuinely a couple of creepy moments in it. But like I said, it's pretty much more play for laughs. But anyway, this is why I really picked this though, because like I said, it's a completely independent film. Like I said, Landis took all of his life savings because nobody would give him a job as a director. And he had to borrow money from relatives, and he made the movie they could. Then he took it around, showed it to distributors. Then they in turn said, you need a couple of extra scenes, and so well, we don't have any money, so they loaned him a little bit of extra money, and then he's finally able to get it distributed. And so yeah, so that's why I picked this one. I figured you want independent cinema, this is pretty much about as independent as it gets. So But anyway, yeah, Schlock from 1972, I think it is. So good movie. So anyway, that's going to pretty much wrap it up. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Body Bags channel. There's a different video every single day. We got 7 reviewers. One guy doing a review every day of the week. I'm the Saturday reviewer. And please tune in. We got great guys doing great stuff. And it's wonderful because, too, if you're a horror fan, you can also, you know, like me, I'm a horror fan. I got a lot of horror movies and stuff, but it's always great when you can tune in and somebody can like turn you on to a movie you haven't seen before, and it gives you some ideas of things that you can check out. So yeah, please tune in and check it out. And like I said, we got great videos, great guys doing great stuff. So anyway, this is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and thank you for watching. Take care. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of Independent Week, and have a good night.